Hello and welcome, Fortnite fans. We are here and we are live. The Indiana Esports Network coming hot at you. I'm FBI Tugboat with me for another time. Back in the saddle. That's how I put it. Logan Summit. Logan, how you doing?
I am absolutely fantastic, but I try to wake up like that. Tugboat, it is good to be back with you, and it is great to be here for some great Fortnite action. Man, I'm old, so that build stuff doesn't really go with me. If I want to build something, I call a contractor, but I can't wait to see how quick these guys and girls and theys and thems are able to put up a hotel in front of their opponents and how quickly they will fall to the ground. Oh, man, it's going to be a great day, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some zone wars starting out here. Yes, folks, in case you are a big fan of the game of Fortnite, right? Traditionally, this has been the Battle Royale version that's gone for it to be most popular, right? We here decided, hey, a lot of that early game, that middle game of loot and whatnot, why don't we just take that out? Why don't we just skip the middleman here and get straight to the action? This will be Zone Wars, which means that each of these three teams will be spawning in their own base with about, I think, 30, 45 seconds, something like that, Logan, to go forth and pick out their own loadout, right? So you're going to see a lot of really, really high-tier weapons. You're going to see a lot of otherwise very rare movement abilities and equipment, other things like this, and everybody with the heals and shields that they need to go forth and produce greatness, Logan.
Well, one of the fun things that you're going to find out really quickly about this is in Zone Wars, you get to grab your weapons like you were saying. So you will see a player go for a blue weapon over a purple or gold sometimes because they prefer that particular weapon. So we're going to get a real good grasp on how these players want to come to this battle. And it'll be interesting to see the strats and how the strats change throughout this because this is 10 fights to the finish, baby. You know, we're all in it to win it. And you better come and show up to show out and show these other teams that you are what it's all about here in Fortnite because only 2 teams move on.
It's a very, very good point. Yeah, I didn't even say it. Yes, Logan, we're in the quarterfinals. My goodness, yes. Teams are getting shaved off like, I don't even know. Like
cheese, baby, like cheese.
Cheese, there you go. Love it. Like yesterday's cheese here, folks. So in this group, there are 3 simultaneous matches going on as well. The third place team will not be allowed, unfortunately, continue on in the postseason. Top 2 teams going on. Obviously, you want to be that top team, though, Logan, so you have the best seeding and go up against, on paper, what they just performed as not as qualified teams, right? Because nobody wants to be the second place team playing against 2 other first place teams.
Well, I mean, if we were talking about racing, if you're not first, you're last. But here, second place still gets to move on. But that first place finish, you know, it always garners you a little bit of trash talking, a little bit of, hey, I'm like Taylor Swift. I'll just shake it off because I got this, right? So you want to go into the next quarterfinals, the next semifinals, the next finals with that momentum leading you to the charge because momentum in esports is so very big. Confidence in the mental game is so very big, especially for these kids that are coming out and just getting into the esports world. They still need to have a grasp on their emotions and how they move forward with those emotions.
Absolutely. What confidence and momentum will take you very, very far in any competition. That holds true here on the day. We got Norwell High, FCHS, that's Franklin County High, and Tippecanoe Valley coming forth to do virtual battle on the Fortnite pitch.
I love Tippecanoe Valley just because of the name. Sounds like a summer camp I went to, but I was not in Indiana. It was more like Maine for me because I'm East Coasting. But from where you're sitting, Tugboat, Tuggers, if you will, what and who do you see being the game changers that we need to look out for today?
First of all, sir, Tuggers is my father. It's FBI Tugboat. No. As far as strategies, guys, you're going to see a lot of this stuff change after about the first round as well. Just to be clear, in case you haven't played Zone Wars as well, it's last player standing. Last player standing, 10 full rounds. We're going to start with a much more restricted circle. It is going to move relatively slowly, but also, again, random as well. So there will not be a predictability, at least exactly, about where this circle will land at the end. But all remains the same, right? Last player standing, and a lot of teams have gotten there before by playing kind of the turtling up game, right? Just building up a whole lot wherever you're at with your teammates by your sides, and staying there and just moving slowly, just like this death ball rolling on into the final circle to try and get there in the middle as quickly as you can. Start your heals as quickly as you can after you actually get out of or into the blue zone, right? And then obviously the more classic look at it is just go in and if it moves, shoot it.
Yeah. Well, I've casted this for another league before, and you will find some of those players that go, yeah, I'm Johnny on the spot. I'm going to get in there and just make it happen. I love it when they gate crash this. They just get, while everybody's still figuring out what they're doing, they grab a weapon and they get on the move and they make it happen. We'll see. I think there's going to be a feeling out period. I don't think everybody's going to jump into that randomness right off the top. You're going to see everybody kind of play back, build their own bases, see where everybody wants to be, and check out each other's movement, because movement is going to be big. And a lot of people don't know, Fortnite didn't start out as a battle royal. Wasn't supposed to be a battle royal. That was just a placeholder. Wasn't supposed to happen.
Supposed to happen.
Here we are. Here we are in this world, and we're playing a whole bunch of different Fortnite games. Now, most of these players probably hang out in the battle royal area. So when you get into this constricted area, it becomes a lot more fun. You've got real tight firefights, and you've got people who can build a hotel and shoot out a window and just sit there and pop a shot and hit a headshot every single time. So you really got to look around the map, see who's playing where, and see their style of gameplay. Do they like to sit? Do they like to, are they going to make s'mores? Are they building a campfire? Or are they coming out running and gunning? That will be the difference.
Yeah, a lot of the days previous here for IEN's Zone Wars, Logan, what we've seen is generally one team try and take there is going to be some natural cover, right? There is going to be a naturally spawning tower in the middle. There'll also be at least 2 clock towers, or a clock tower and something that is about the same height as well. So it's not just like they're spawning in and just going to be a big flat open circle, like a nightmare, right? Where you can't wake up.
It's not like desert in Las Vegas. There
you go. Yes, just buildings. Yeah, there will be some buildings, but obviously these are not going to be skyscraper status by any means. Anything that you build past about 4 or 5 stories is going to be either the top part of the middle's tower, or it's going to be something that was created by a player.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now we get to check it out. You see the beautiful Fortnite characters. That is one of the best parts of this game, is the originality that you can have with all the different characters that you play. Now, I have seen some teams take and use the exact same skin. How do you feel about that familiarity for your team?
The way I look at it is, if you use the same skin and one of your opponents pops out, gets a nasty headshot and almost drops or even does drop you, then you, person sniping in, right, do not know who exactly it is that you're looking at when they pop their heads back up to try and return fire, right? You don't know if that person is one. You don't know if that person is a full 200 and the person that you just popped is just sitting back. So there's a little bit of mental games to go into this, Logan, that I really do feel like need to be addressed.
Well, you know what? The mental game, hey, all right, as we just see a gold sniper rifle being picked up off the ground, so we know exactly what this player is going to be doing with it. And the doctor is in the house. They dropped the purple, keeping the gold, so we know what their plan of attack is going to be. Now, some of the head games that I like to play is I will, in these kinds of situations, just build something and walk away from it and just let somebody try to figure out what the heck's going on over there. And you know what? Flanking is a big deal. And work in pairs at the very least. You don't have to roll everywhere as a full team, but try to work in pairs.
Yeah, another kind of strategy that has been employed, right? More of the death ball rolling competition that you might see in more traditional team shooters, Logan. That is obviously a full 4 players working together, having their back, everything else working together as a cohesive unit. Other looks have been the split duos, though, right?
Okay.
Like you were just talking about, the 2 separate roles of, but that is obviously a very, very slay-heavy and aggressive type of style. What they always want to do is hit hard and hit first, so they're trying to be fighting at a numerical advantage, or at least something that's a little more even, I should say.
Yeah, and it seems like everybody has come to the building in the middle to kind of hold it down and see who is the clown and who's wearing the crown today. So look, we're checking out behind. Everybody's got to sit in tight right now. He's got a big tree as a defensive mechanism for him there, so they can sit tight over there. But they're going to pop right back into the battle, not finding their way in the way that they like to, but a good build to find some stairs.
Yeah, and traditionally, you want to like pop out one of those walls so that you can go and actually get in through here. This is a lot of resources being used just to get up a couple of flights of stairs as well. Last player alive here. It's going to be difficult. No, there's a lot of damage, a lot of shots coming in. And at the end of the day, especially given how much time they spent on the outside.
Yeah.
Nice grab right there. So built up just in the nick of time to catch that. No fall damage, no storm damage.
Yeah, that was a really good catch right there. As they put on some shield, they're going to look good with shields, but it's getting to the nitty-gritty. Who's going to build to the top and defeat? Round 1 of 10 is done.
Wow, so, this was the purple team here. That is, of course, Franklin County. Tired Man, short kid, that's their tag. Not disparaging them here. Carson and Soul Sniper making up that squad, or at least that's what we have down on the paper here, Logan.
Oh, yeah, but that is what we have down on the paper. Look, that was a Franklin County turn up right there. They showed up and showed out right there. They got the win. They got a bunch of points. And look, these points can go into the thousands. So they got themselves a really good lead to start it off here. Franklin County looking like they might be the team to beat right after the first match.
You can't be surprised. This quartet of players here for Franklin County have gone forth and just really completed a domination over plenty of rounds before. There was another, it was a more unique name that they played against that they had a lot of problems with. I believe that was week 3 of last semester or so. Can't exactly remember. That was a long time ago. A lot of matches, a lot of players ago. Logan, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand. It's called getting old. I completely understand
Jesus.
it.
Don't you curse me like that, friend. Don't you get that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, you still got a beautiful mustache. We're good.
Well, hey, right back at you, friend. Right back at you. Fact of the matter here. Blah, 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 blah. Fact of the matter here. Franklin County has gone forth, and whether it's, again, hook or by crook, right? Whether this is this team that is just trying to fly under the radar and get in there and just happen to be the last healing on that last circle, or whether it's by death, doom, and delirious destruction, Logan, Franklin County seems to get it done. Now, what we've also seen in previous weeks is this theme kind of being established, like one team being very, very dominant, and maybe the engagements between the other two teams weren't as frequent, or maybe as ferocious, if you catch what I'm saying.
I do. But look, production is letting us know that they are rebuilding the lobby because one of the players got knocked into spectator. Technical difficulties are always a difficulty with esports, and it just happens. It happens all the time. But you've been here before. With that, are we going to have to replay that, or are we just moving on?
Chances are we'll just be moving on, given that it was just one round, and from what the gameplay wasn't affected. It was just we happened to be spectating. We just happened to be spectating with one, obviously. I want to say a big shout out to the IEN and to Jaden, Connie, Taylor. Appreciate y'all producing away and making our jobs as casters that much easier. And speaking of having an easy job as a caster, guess what, Logan? I forgot one of the bigger roles, right? I want to give a shout out to Zotac. Zotac here for making competitions like this one possible. Hey, everyone. Hey. We want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, which is, of course, helping to showcase all of the amazing talent within Scholastic Esports. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming, if you so choose, by giving them a shout out on social medias and tweets and whatnot. Make sure to join their community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtag #PoweredByZotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post. Zotac spelled Zotac. Anybody curious?
Couldn't do it without Zotac. That is for darn sure. We're here because of them and all of our sponsors, and we're here because of the Indiana Esports Network. And as they're remaking this lobby, we're going to get back into it, and it's going to be incredible. Now, here's the thing, though. Everybody just pushed to the center building, but you made a very valid point. They didn't knock out any of the walls, and it made it very hard to get back into that building. You need to set up an area for your place to get into the building and then escape deep and maybe land on top of a tree. I like to snipe from trees, not gonna lie. It's a good spot. But you need to be able to get in and out of that building and not get stuck in a rut in that building, because it's gonna look, if you come upon two enemies on the wrong floor, it's gonna take you forever to try to get out that window, because it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. You gotta pop that whole wall out. You gotta make it an open window concept over there.
Exactly. Open it up, get some more natural light in there, Logan,
Yes.
right? No, but I completely agree with what you're saying, because the fact of the matter is that if you go into center tower and you're just going through the every 4 or 5 flight entryways, like actually to get to the inside, and you're not knocking out those windows to try and use some sort of movement abilities or movement equipment to get inside there, and what you're doing is essentially bottlenecking yourself, right? You are putting up a flashy billboard saying, hey, I'm going, and not only am I going in here, but I will be going through this area in the next couple of seconds. Now, if you're sitting on the inside right there, you've kind of taken initiative, and your team has already taken that, you're talking about free real estate. You're talking about free kills right there.
Yes, and I do want to point out that we have gone back to game one. This is game one, replaying it. So everything that happened, scratch it out, start all over. Like Yogi Berra said, it's deja vu all over again.
Deja vu all over again. We'll see if Franklin County is going to be able to recreate the pretty overwhelming success, just to be honest with it. Logan, there in game number 1, they did earlier. Now here for our official game number 1. As we see, we are already going on to the middle circle. There's people building up there as we are on board with Carson.
Carson, yes. Carson Daly making his return to MTV right now, getting it done with that stunning Catwoman costume on. We absolutely love that skin, and just popped a gold gun right there. Not one of my favorites on in the game, I got to be honest with you.
It requires a lot more skill and aiming than I'm willing to put in with it. Also, to be fair, I don't play a whole lot of Fortnite anymore. Logan, like you mentioned earlier, like you cursed me earlier.
Hey, I just started playing 4 months after they created No Build, because I was like, man, every time I try to do something, some kid puts up a hotel in front of me and pops me in the face.
Yes, new news development. It'll come quickly. Now, shots raining in on Carson here. Decent edits to try and get a little bit closer to the circle here and get up with a teammate that had taken some shots. That short kid on the bad end of a barrel. Now, Carson bailing some damage on the inside, trying to find a way in edgewise. That was a teammate. That was not an opponent. They just ran past. And Terry Knott, dear spectator.
I was wondering, thank you for clarifying. You're so good at it as they are on the chase. They're editing, they're building, they're chasing up the stairs. This is a cat and mouse to the end right now.
Yeah, I just feel like I've seen this movie before, man. I'm not talking about any Batman Chronicles. This is FCHS. They put on a clinic. I mean, and again, kind of free real estate right here. Yes, we've used pretty much all of Carson's bricks, right? But that doesn't really matter when they're already up here, and the only builds they'll really need is to get down in later circles if they even really need to, right? We're looking at what? There's 2 more circles after this. I'm not doing the math.
Yeah, please don't break out the abacus or take your shoes off. I believe you're right out there for 2. And Carson now being able to refill all of that shield, because they're holding on to that big guy. Carrying around that big guy's good, but we got a down teammate right there. They're going to try to make their way over there. Teamwork makes the dream work. Will they be able to get them back up? We'll find out. You get knocked down, you get back up again. Chumbawamba said it best.
Absolutely. That's going to be an elimination right here, and perhaps the down but not out situation allowed for a little bit of a trap right there. But what I do know is that FCHS is down half of their squads right here. Or half of their squad, I should say. And they have decent positioning, but yeah, that high ground is always where I'm going to be looking at, Logan.
Yes, I mean, the high ground wins it every single time. You need WAP in this game, weapons and positioning. For real, that is not a thing. If you're looking up and shooting, you are going to get beat. It's just going to happen.
Shots on high here. This is uneditable territory, and Carson knows it. Quickly gets out of that one. Now trying this, going to be big chunks of damage. Gets to the top, not even gonna matter. FCHS does it again.
And round 1 is done, and FCHS Varsity Squad has won it once again, the purple team getting it done. But this time around, we saw Norwell put some actual points up on the board. And Tippecanoe, well, they're working on it. They put some other points. But FCHS, man, Franklin is in charge there. Large and in charge like Charles and/or Marge. It might as well be Tony Danza, because who's the boss right now? They are.
That was a fantastic job for FCHS getting it done right there. Also got a shot, like, I mean, you mentioned it, right? Norwell getting plenty of eliminations as well, and at least putting a little bit of competition here, because I you know, just to talk about the past, right? There have been instances before within these IEN competitions, not the majority of them by any means, but there have been some of them before, results in pretty much just one team kind of running away from it, or running away with it, I should say, by the 5th round or so. What that game 1 tells me is that is not what we're going to see here on today. This is game 2 of 10. We'll get that fixed up there in the top for you guys soon.
Yes, it is definitely game 2 of 10. And if you're with us at home and you don't know what you're looking at, if you look in your upper left-hand corner under Norwell, that is typically where you will find the game 1 through 10 and where we are. They'll get that updated in one moment. We're having a battle, and literally what I was saying, Tug, is if you're shooting up and they're shooting down, they're going to win, and wow, that was one-sided.
And just the simple fact of being able to play the angle on the outside, pop your head out just to take your shot and then go back, whereas Tanner here was being forced to put the entire body out. I'm literally explaining pixels at this point, but like it's exactly what we were talking about. It's not a bad endeavor, but at a certain point, egoing and challenging things like that is just not gonna be ideal. What this has told me so far is basically the team that makes it to this top tower here is going to go forth and employ success within these Zone Wars rounds.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense. Get as high as you can within these buildings or whatever you build yourself, and take control. You need that weapons and positioning that WAP. Like I was saying earlier, you got to get up high and be looking condescendingly down at the other teams.
Condescendingly, he's speaking about the manner in which they're looking down now.
Yes, I am.
Hey, it's about confidence, man. It's about confidence. We mentioned that earlier. Also, a difference here, of course, is that we do have group heals, right? So this heal, this res will be a little bit faster up as well, given that there were 2 players trying to deploy it. This is not great circle, though. They have time to heal up here. That's the best news here for Tanner, Glimmy, and the rest of this squad. But again, this is just going to be continued to rain on down. Given that outside of circle was like just outside this tower, that's really the worst luck of all this so far.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you know, with the way that these circles move, it is partially luck, but you got to get there before everybody else does. I mean, they can't find a way right now. It's just bullets raining down like Miami at 4 p.m. It's just gonna rain down bullets for about 45 minutes. Nothing you can do about it.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I mean, every single, every wall they put up down there gets taken down in the deluge. Doctor here, gonna be trying to get a little bit higher, right?
Right. And you know what? The only way to stop that fall damage sometimes is to build while you're in the air on top of something else. And I thought we were gonna end up into that kind of situation. Now they're looking to get out of here in a hot second.
Now, do you go like right now that you know where circle is at? Yeah. That's really what I'm thinking. They have 2 more as well, so oh no, so it doesn't go for the horizontal movement quite yet. Goes for the vertical. Here's builds, needs that, kills the fall damage, and should be flirting with the outside of circle here, Logan.
Yeah, look, they are in a great position. From up above, they're going to have to take them down. They go with the bat, breaking out the baseball bat. Very, very interesting there. You'd like to see it, but I don't know if that was the best way. I would have gone with a shotgun.
Okay, well, it worked. the first shot hit, but perhaps there was an issue of like, just not really wanting to aim that. I'm not 100% sure. That short kid on here, last player here for FCHS. Sorry,
Franklin.
I was thinking the FNCS, right? Yeah, well, so got influenced by the movement right there, but that might not be ideal. No, there's the builds are going to be a-okay, but as they're building, taking shots to the face, no bueno. That's going to be Tippecanoe, I believe, taking this one down. No, Norwell, excuse me. Norwell taking round number 2 down.
And Norwell getting some major pointage as well off of the eliminations. Purple team, which is Franklin, they did some damage as well. Tippecanoe, once again, only 2 of their players really chiming in with any kind of motion in the ocean over there, getting a couple kills there. Just like last round, only 2 players got involved. So they're going to need their whole team to get involved if they're hoping to... You gotta love the spike traps. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, well, this is how we have to get our spectator on in.
Right.
Everybody, we love our production staff. It does kind of seem like each time there's, Fortnite fixes something, and then we try to use it, and then somehow, some way. Oh well, that's just the state of games, perhaps. Talking about this squad here in Tanner Glenny, the rest, Tippecanoe, if they want to go forth and employ some victories here, I would say you dedicate like 2. Maybe just 1 rounds, but just trying to go like hard and heavy early, right? Try and take the top of this tower and try and discourage other teams from dedicating so many resources, so many members of their team from doing that.
Yeah, well, we've got Doctor and Dr. Jr. over here getting it done. So I would assume that they've played together a few times here and there. Now, what we've learned in the past is that height matters here. Sorry, short kid, and we're not talking about your actual height. We're just talking about in general. So I don't know what the ground game is, why anybody's pursuing a ground game at this point. We are into the 3rd game right now. You should have been able to see some of the strats and who's the real ballers and shot callers in the other teams. And you want to target those players right off the bat, get them down and out in Beverly Hills as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah, and that's actually really good. That is, I'm pretty sure that's 2 teams fighting on high right there, now getting involved, but this is Tanner not going with their teammates. So 1v lost right here. Oh, dear.
Little bit of trolling, little bit of trolling. Hey, it happens in all esports. But
well, that is information garnered, right? So they pull out the card they know, but like at the same time, is that really worth the time you're dedicating to it? Which is probably a little bit more of what you were saying.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, no, you can't. You turn your back on your enemy, you get shot dead. Wow, they made it look too easy. That was just a walk-by shooting right there.
Yeah, and like, you just have to have a little bit more awareness, right? Like, you get up, you have this fantastic positioning. What you cannot be doing is just staring at the wall that you know nobody's coming from, right?
Right. Well, Archer calls it situational awareness. Yeah, I got it out the 3rd time's a charm. But they need to keep that in their back pocket as well as we get into a little bit of a scrim here with some edits and some build.
Doctor just trying to beat feet and get out of here at this point. Build up. Find a little bit of rest for the weary, not going to happen. Carson and the rest of FCHS ends this round 3 rather early with not every elimination. I'm trying to do the math here. Obviously, this is adding up round to round here.
Yes, indeed it does.
I'm pretty sure that Norwell got at least 2.
Well, but FC, that was a domination. They got off of their vacation and they went on to domination because that was quick, easy, and painless for Franklin getting it done.
Absolutely did. Absolutely did. Now, points there are, I'm being told, off the back of eliminations, obviously round wins, and assists as well. If we get a tied situation for round wins in the end, then we will go to points after that, right? So these assists and eliminations are going to matter in the end, but round to round, the primary decision winner is just going to be simply last person standing.
Last person standing is you know what? I mean, it only makes sense in the Fortnite world, right? As we see somebody adding some additions onto this real estate here in the middle, probably trying to raise its property value, but I don't know if that's going to work quite now. All right, we've got a sniper in the bell tower without a sniper rifle. Let's see what happens here.
It is decent range. It's not like they need like 8 times, but it is going to be decently hard still to be getting damage like that. Classic pyramid. Gonna edit afterwards. Now, this is the constructions. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is not the constructions of a teammate. You gotta edit this and get out of there. No, they put... I think once they removed it, they put their own pyramids on top, so there's kind of just like a trap laid there for Tanner Glenny.
Yeah, so Tanner's down. We've also got D down. D's down and out. Tanner down and out. Oh, man, this team is crashing early and often right now. They can't find a place to go without getting shot in the face.
I'm not sure if it's a matter of them not being able to build up and find like a good base they feel comfortable in, or if it's a matter of like kind of like I was saying earlier, like the situational awareness situation, right? Where like they just need to have a little bit better idea of where players are pushing them from. Because I mean, as of right now, all these movement abilities and equipment, right? It's just been crazy, and players have been flying in at them so far.
Yeah, it is very. Look, this is a very action-packed run and gun type of game. You're in each other's face. You can't help but be there, but you have to play it smart. And sometimes a little bit of patience goes a long way, Guns N' Roses.
See how much patience affords them here. I think they have lost the scent here of Dr. Jr. Most of the sounds that we're hearing are between these other two teams and just builds getting finished out here. So, hey, not bad situations. The worst news, of course, is that there's no movement abilities within the kit of Dr. Jr. here.
So Doc's just taking a moment to themselves, thinking about what they're going to eat after the match is over, and just going through it. Now they got very lucky with the way the circle stopped right there, but now they're going to be known, and they are last on their team. So they got to get to that big building without getting their head chopped off. Will they be able to do it? I don't think so. They've got WAP across the street, and that's enough to call it a day for the Doc.
Yeah, we just see how it went down right here. Lutra, Otter, rest of the squad, that's Norwell, I believe. Yeah, that's Norwell. I mean, just peppering those builds as soon as they came up. I have to, I haven't played a whole lot of Zone Wars, so I have to wonder if the idea would just been like sliding in, like building up as much as you can, then just sliding in while those builds are just kind of providing that concealment. But wow, okay, a quick shotgun blast right here as Otter goes down. Casual Champ taken out a little bit higher than them as well. Now it's just going to be that short kid and Carson here for the side of FCHS. So it should be a 2-on-2, right?
Yeah, it should be. Now he's crawling for his life. He's picking up some health. I do not see them getting to the other side and being part of the rest of this battle, because they still got to get picked up. But they are Johnny 5 and alive. They're still losing health though.
Yeah, and this is just the trap situation. That player was just sitting above them, just waiting for them to bleed all the way on out, and was definitely just going to quick edit and then shotgun blast anybody who's coming up to this one. So
Carson Daly is the only one alive right now, and this is down to the nitty-grit. Who's going to build? Who's going to stay alive? And who's going to die? We're going to find out
where Carson's at, though.
They do. They found him.
This is where legends are made. A 4v1, you can go forth and take it, but yeah, at this point, between Storm and Damage, that should be enough, because this other squad is just going to have somebody healing throughout the entire time. I believe they had 3 players alive, not 100% sure, but regardless, that's going to be a tying factor here for Norwell.
Well, tie me up with your ties, Ty, because we've got a tie on the board. Norwell and Franklin, FCHS, Varsity squad are both tied at 2 as we go into round number 5 of 10 rounds. Right now, we're playing a little bit of Fortnite, kids, and it's not the Fortnite that you might traditionally be aware of with the Battle Royale. It's a little bit different, a little bit more up in your face, close quarters battle, but still keeping with the traditional, Battle Royale feel to it. It just gets you away from that beginning of the round nonsense of having to figure out where are the weapons and where are the teams. Well, you're already right there with all the weapons that you want and all the teams. It's time to do battle.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like it. Like I mentioned earlier, I just like how they kind of cut to the chase, right? Obviously, there's not a real Battle Royale version, I feel like, that you can put out where everyone, takes their own pick of loot and stuff like that, right? I mean, the entire essence is such that you have to play your chances, right? And sometimes you're going to get fantastic guns, attachments, equipment, heals, shields, everything else like that, and sometimes you're just not, right?
Yep.
That's not what we're looking at here today.
And as we see Tanner over there, I just wanted to mention a little high IQ. He covered up with a TP, or a pyramid, whichever you want to call it, covered up the jump pad over here. That was one of the first things he did. So he has taken this position with his teammate, and they're not going to give it up readily or steadily. They are here to win it. And they got somebody coming in on them. They're going to have to take them out if they want to keep this top position.
One coming in horizontally. Now they're both just beating down the walls. That's going to be some... No, they catch at the very... Oh, no, that was, excuse me, that was the movement ability utilized. And obviously, once it's horizontal, they get no fall damage. 24 left here for Tanner Glenny. Flirts with the outside right there, and now just trying to find a little bit of rest for the weary. It's going to be a small health, or a small shield potion, excuse me, first. And they should be just on the outside. That is some fantastic luck. Well, never mind. Luck is done.
Yeah, luck is over. The Catwoman found him, and yeah, that was bad luck at this point.
Really was. See how luck continues to play a factor. I mean, even though no Battle Royale version, it's still definitely a part of any first-person shooter, right? They don't call it COD timing for no reason, Logan.
It's true. It's true. Now, they saw a gold weapon in front of them. They did not grab it. That goes back to, hey, that weapon isn't my weapon. I'm not going to go with it just because it's golden, boy. Yeah, you know, stay gold, pony boy, but... this is Dr. Junior, or Doctor, and Dr. Junior is down on the ground in front of him. I do not think they're going to be able to get to him. It's all up to Doc right now.
Yeah, that is definitely the, you know, the food in the trap down bottom. Catwoman taking a big shot against Doctor right now. Okay, boots on the ground, now trying to finagle their way on over to the teammate. Will they actually be able to get this? Dr. Junior down lower than them. A lot of flak shot early, but now playing a corner pretty well. They have like literally like 1 second left.
If they get them up, no. They were found. They were found. This is hide and seek, and they were found. Good movement. Yeah,
great
good movement.
Great movement. There was only one way out of there, and yeah, this was just a sticky situation that was going to be hard to get out of, and they literally played corners as pretty much as perfectly as they could, right? They get the movement, they get the movement ability out right there, right? Grenade hits the ground, and they play that corner pretty perfectly. They didn't close it off after they go, but I mean, once you have multiple players on the other side chasing you down, that's just what's gonna happen. FCHS takes down another one.
Yeah, Franklin's in the house, and this is a teeter-totter battle to the death right now. This is the ping-pong battle of deathmatch. It's going back and forth, scratching the record against the needle, making that music shine. And Franklin right now is in the lead 3-2. Tippecanoe got all of their teammates in the mix now, so they are coming into vision here. Maybe they can steal a couple rounds, get some momentum behind them, get that good feeling, that great teamwork, being able to say, hey, yeah, we're still in it, we got this. You know, you got to keep positive while you're playing these games, especially in a team environment. You got to stay positive, because if one of your team is a little bit down, well, that can throw off all of the team. And make sure that you're all playing to your strong points, Tippecanoe. If you're not playing to your strengths, then you're putting yourself in a position to lose.
Well, 100%, right? Like, there's never going to be a classic, like, formal, like, okay, you're gonna snipe, I'm gonna deal mid-range damage, and then this guy's like gonna be our shoddy blaster up close and personal, right? It's got to be situational, closest person to it, and you're simply going to get pushed, right? Like, you're going to get challenged by various players. So at the absolute least, you have to have some close range game, which all of these players so far have shown that they do. At the end of the day, there are other strategies that may not translate exactly to, like, the field, even though it's not exactly your aim, it's not exactly like your build capabilities or how well you're able to maintain resources and stuff like this. It's the intangibles, Logan. There's got to, for example, there's got to be an IGO, 100%.
Yeah, no, I you know what? You're absolutely right. It's going to take a lot to get back in this, but I do feel like they can. But it's not going to be a one-man battle here. They're going to need to use teamwork to make that dream work. And right now we've got some action going on. The circle's getting smaller.
Yes, it is. We do have a treasure chest right here, but I'm not really sure what they'd really want to garner from it. A couple of teammates down on board. Tanny and Doctor is kind of playing on their... They're actually playing on the exact opposite side. So this is another split push type mentality here. Try and up your chances of having one player at least be the last alive.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I necessarily agree with that. If you go 2v1 in Fortnite, you win that battle each and every single time.
Yeah, like, you really just have to have like really gotten your movement going, or have some kind of crazy plays, never miss a shot, something right there. And as it goes down, Doctor last alive here, is trying to destroy some of these builds and then get where they get a little bit of cover. Okay. I mean, we've been on board with the Doctor plenty of times, and we've seen just how good they are just simply getting away.
Yeah, their movement has been unmatched as far as we have seen thus far. However, that isn't enough to win these games and get those kills that they need right now. Tippecanoe Valley is going to need more than great movement if they're going to get back into it, but they do have the skills to do it. But Franklin and Norwell right now just going back and forth, and they are keeping the Doc upstairs just at bay right now. There's nothing Doc can do except pray and stay.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, they have that splash and they do not want to utilize it because that will, of course, create a UI that splashes outside of these walls. And I mean, the benefit you could gain from a little bit extra shields getting up to 100 instead of 167 are definitely outweighed by the surprise factor and not wanting to let people know where you're at.
Yeah.
That was a quick exit, okay.
It was a quick exit, and it didn't exactly get them to where they want to, but I think they'll take it. They're going to need to be proactive with where this storm is going if they're going to hope to survive, and they're going to need to hope that their opponents fall into some of this gas and get into that circle and lose some health, because I just don't see how they're going to be able to make this happen. But they are being very patient, and I do like to see that, because sometimes people get frustrated sitting in one place.
I believe the patience has been utilized really well here. Now with 6 splashes, we already know what they're thinking. They're thinking, hey, I'm using these splashes for heals on the very end. Now to the bottom, that is not ideal situations.
Nope.
Need some kind of build here. Splash battle is on. 2 more, not gonna matter. Fluxman gonna get that shotgun raised and a W down here for the side of Norwell. This is a split game thus far. 1, 3, and 5, Logan, going the way of FCHS. 2, 4, and 6 going down the way of Norwell.
Like I said, back and forth, back and forth. This is getting crazy. We were talking about all the way the tiebreaker points could work earlier on before the broadcast, and it's a good thing we did, Doug, because you know what? We may have to utilize that knowledge in a little bit. We are going into the seventh inning stretch right now, and while we're doing that, let's give some love to Landfest. Couldn't be here, couldn't be doing it without you. With over 150 matches per year, there's a match somewhere for you to get involved. Do you want to be involved in esports? Do you want to be a caster? Do you want to be a player? Do you want to be behind the scenes in production? Landfest does it all. Go over to landfest.com and get involved today.
Absolutely. A lot of events across the country, a lot of different states. Fantastic organization. 3-3 as of right now, as we are pushing here into round 7 of 10. Tippecanoe is unfortunately, Logan, name might be awesome, performance is not matched, just to be honest.
It's true. They're having a hard go at it, but if you look at their lineup, some of these players either changed their name or they're new to the squad, so I'm wondering if the cohesiveness is not there for Tippecanoe as we're maybe having some new players.
I hear you. Hey, I'm not against this idea as well. Utilize this rocket launcher at distance. Take down the foundations here. That's a lot of builds, and this rocket launcher is going to take it down. There's everybody deleted off the other side here.
Yeah, because it is very important to mention, once you're out of the utilities to be able to build, you're out of the utilities to be able to build. I love this. Yo, rockets, bombs bursting in air. Come on, let's get a little destruction going here. Boom goes the dynamite.
I want to see this utilized by like 2 players with 2 more just focusing on builds and holding ARs in the first 10 seconds of this game or so. We've already seen what one player can do, right? They got 70 damage on somebody, and those white damage as well is not shields, right? So that took a player rather low. And at the end of the day, I just like the idea of, you know, kicking the hornet's nest, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, this is causing distraction. One of my favorite weapons in Fortnite is the grenades, because you third party with a grenade, no one knows what the heck is going on. They just lose their minds. Speaking of losing their head, somebody's down and out in Beverly Hills, and Tanner is going to sit on the bench for a hot second.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't. You know, now that I think about it, Logan, I guess you don't shoot 15 rockets in the same position pretty much and have people not pay attention to where you're at.
Yeah, and look, they got very lucky being able to get off that many rounds with the rocket launcher. It was a good strat, and I'd like to see it utilized more effectively. But again, just like a sniper rifle, if you pop your head out from a corner and keep shooting from it and don't go to another corner, you will get tapped in the face.
Yeah, and that's the other thing here, but close range shots, build, battle, and edits going down. Oh, Carson gonna be taking that last player down. Carson, that short kid, last alive here for FCHS, Logan.
Well, Franklin, once again, some of the last people on the map to get it done, and they're looking to get that fourth win, take the lead over Norwell, because we're getting towards the end. There's only going to be a couple more matches after this, and we're seeing that rocket launcher come back out. They're going up to the rooftop with it, and they made a bad shot because it was not the right window, but they found where their opponent is, and now they're going to come right back up to him with some edits.
They're trying to use that action as a little bit of a distraction. It's decent positioning, but now you're going to have to use pretty much everything left, resources-wise. Now, while this is going on, that short kid might be able to play flanker here, interrupt the best laid plans on the other side, and here's Carson getting involved. The top we go, and it's a race to the skies, Logan.
Yeah, we're going up to the rooftop. That's where all the kids listen to the punk rock. Pulled out that rocket launcher. Be careful with it. You gotta be careful. Oh, shot down to the ground. That could have huge consequences.
But takes a shot as they go down, and I believe falls to, or dies to fall damage there on the end. Not 100% sure, but I think the supports were taken out right there. Red team, yes, that is Norwell taking down all the even rounds.
Yeah, Norwell doing really good on the even side. Yeah, right.
Wait, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That 7, we won't worry about that one right there. But
Norwell, that guy, don't worry about that guy.
Yeah, Norwell takes the lead for the first time today. They've been playing catch up behind Franklin right now, and Franklin holding it down with 3. Tippecanoe still struggling as a team, trying to get everyone involved. And you know what? Franklin and Norwell are just overshadowing them today. But you know what? Like I said, I think some of these players are new for Tippecanoe, and you know what? They'll be able to take this, go back, check out the footage from their end, and find out what they need to do to bring this team together and what they can do a little bit better each and every single time out.
That's true. Just, I always say there's not winners and losers, Logan. There's winners and learners, right? And there's been plenty of content with which to look back and learn about how they would like to deploy their Fortnite Zone Wars performances in the future. Not that this is over with yet, but given that this is, of course, game 8, even if just mathematically, right? Tippecanoe takes even 8, 9, and 10 down, then I believe, unless unless they also get a just deluge of eliminations in that time as well, just based on points, it would be Norwell and FCHS.
Yeah, I haven't started warming up my vocal cords yet, so it's not technically over, but we're cut out for you. That's an understatement right now. If Tippecanoe was going to come back, it would be legend, and I hope you're not lactose intolerant, because this will involve dairy if they're able to make this comeback.
Absolutely. Tanner Glenny. I think what I'm seeing is that they're just like, hey, this last mathematically possible round, we're just going to let them two fight it out in the middle here and try and pick up the scraps when we're done, and hope that it's like a 2-person team, or at least just like a 3-person team, not a full 4v.
Well, that was a great window grab right there, being able to pop themselves in and probably go unnoticed. And they're going to, they're going to put themselves in a corner like Baby right now in Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts you in a corner unless you do it yourself. I understand what they're doing, but if somebody finds them, they are literally going to get chopped out because there's just no place for them to go. They have bottlenecked themselves.
Now, Dino taking down an elimination a little bit lower than them is not bad. Now, what Tippecanoe has done in the past that hasn't really served them well, Logan, is they would send like 1 or even 2 players, but as we see right now, like all 4 of these players are kind of within the same quadrant, as we see a little bit of ledge grabbing difficulties. That is a beta that is over with, though.
Yeah, it is. True. But what hasn't worked for them in the past, they shouldn't keep doing that. They got to switch it up and around. I came to get down, so get out your seat and jump around, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And there we go. We got shot in the face and fall damage to boot.
Wow.
Nothing working out there.
Look, the entire tower is down. They took down all of the supports right there. That's pretty crazy. Hey, this is basically the strat employed earlier, last round, that is just, take 2 players, put rocket launchers in their hands, and shoot as much as you can as the big stationary thing in the middle.
Well, we saw it work before. Might as well go back to the well one more time. Third time, not necessarily a charm in esports, but 2 times can make you do a little dance and break out a little bit of romance with a win. As we see another defeat right there. Round 8 of 10 is done, and the red team is now in control. Norwell pulling out. It is 5-3. Franklin's got 3 points. Norwell's got 4. Tippecanoe sitting in the back seat watching everybody do their thing, but that's okay. That's okay. They can be, look, they can really be a stinker here if they want to, and get in the mix and make it difficult for one of these 2 teams to finish this out. If they really want to, they can be a catalyst for one of these teams' defeat.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Because FCHS right now is playing against Norwell, they're playing against Tippecanoe, and they're playing against the sand in the hourglass, Logan. That's time, right? Tippecanoe can play spoiler here by taking down a single round, because FCHS needs both of these and... Ooh, excuse me. And they need to take down... I was trying to do some quick maths there, so don't quote me on this, but I think they need to take at least 4 more eliminations while keeping Norwell to the same amount.
All right, well, you know what? Your math is always so much superior to mine, because I still have to use an abacus, because that's how old I am. But look, we haven't seen any rocket launchers deployed again, but we do see a 50 cal, and you know what? That will break through to the other side if they needed to be, but those rocket launchers were just doing so much damage, and they were making everybody utilize their building tools, and you know what? There's only there's a finite amount of those building tools available to you in each round. So besides causing all that damage and causing all that hectic, just missed with a headshot, but now they know where they're at, Tug.
Yeah, and Tanner almost got a shot back at them. There it is. So that's not even the heavy sniper as well, like the single shot that he is using here. That's brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. Now they're forced to utilize this literally as they're walking all the way in. Got to pick up the shields or heals. One of them. Oh no, they're going for the grappler. Not against this as well. There's some more movement. They're going to make it a little bit harder to hit them while they're in the air. They have to grapple this well, and they do not.
They missed it, and this could be their death right here. If they don't play this right, they fell into a bee's nest, a hornet's nest. They kicked it over. This may not be where they want to be, because I do believe there's somebody to their left as well.
Yeah, but they have a couple of teammates to the left, and they actually only lost 1 teammate throughout all of that, which might be chalked up as a W in of itself, Logan.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, because Tippecanoe, hey, they're getting back into it. I like the stick-to-itiveness here. They're pulling themselves up by the Fortnite bootstraps, and they're not letting them the other teams call them completely out of it quite yet. They're like a Snickers bar when your appetite's just poking at you. They're trying to get it done for themselves while being a big sore tooth for you.
Yes, sir. Now they get to the inside. I mean, that is a pathing that has been super, super hard for Tippecanoe to accomplish before. They get there and are immediately met with a bunch of flak sent from the bottom part of this tower. I think they're trying to determine on what floor the first team and the second team are. I'm not 100% sure.
No, I think you're probably right about that. Now, were they able to get Doc up? No. All right, so player went down. They were not able to res him. So chances are, their other team knows where they're at. They just don't know. This is cat and mouse right here on the bottom floor. They don't know where they're being shot at, but they know that they are being shot. Tippecanoe just can't get out of their own way right now. They just keep getting stuck in a corner with gunfire all around.
Yeah, and Tanner Glennie should probably have utilized this. I mean, you hear all of this going down right now. You have that grapple gun. Get out of here and get to that far side of circle. Yep. There's already some natural cover there as well, and they're full on wood and they're full on brick.
And here we go. This is going to be the battle to the finish, at least for Tanner at this moment. If they can get away without being seen, they may be able to get to the other side. They do not have any shields, though, or health, so they're going to need to pick some of that up if they're going to stand and play, and they are not. They're done for the day.
Yeah, so getting through there, trying to edit a build that you did not put up yields Norwell another round win and a first place guarantee seed coming into the next, even if FCHS, Franklin County, you came in just absolutely slashing and dashing, man. Seriously. They found nothing in the second half of this match thus far here, Logan.
Yeah, Franklin, Norwell has actually been able to really put the kibosh on Franklin and their strats for the day. Tippecanoe hasn't been able to really get into the mix quite well, but Norwell is now out 6-3. They've got this in the can. This is in the bag. They have done it. Unless Franklin just kills everybody very quickly.
And it goes to round wins first, right? So it'd be 6-4 at the absolute best, and even if they got every elimination, that tiebreaker wouldn't be utilized. Which may be something that we I don't know. Like,
does it go to assists?
The way I look at it is like, I think eliminations maybe should be a little bit bigger part of the competition. I'm not criticizing anything here by any means, right? Like Fortnite Zone Wars is like a little bit newer of a format here for Fortnite and whatnot. And I guess I'm looking at it from the standpoint of if one team comes out and slays pretty much everybody else in the entire round, and they do that consistently, kind of like Franklin has, for example, do they really deserve nothing from that round outside of just tiebreaker potential? I don't know. What do I know?
Hey, we're just here to talk about the games and what's happening in front of us. And what's happening in front of us right now is Dino is being chased around, and they're almost out of health. They're at 91, but they've got 0 shields, which, as you know, if you play Fortnite, those health bars go away real quick.
Yes, they do, and no shields to be spoken of here for Dino. Doesn't matter because they got the drop.
Yeah, I was wondering if they wanted to finish.
I was wondering if they wanted to finish that out to try and get some shields of their own. Not gonna matter. Whoa, okay, so they're moving so quickly, I can't exactly tell what it was that we switched on over to that short kid's perspective. And hey, that's Fortnite for you.
Yeah, that short kid getting it done and doing it fast. Carson and that short kid making a really good pair today. We've seen them play together a few times, and they are a team to be reckoned with within their own team. Now they are at a disadvantage by being on the first floor, whereas Norwell seems to have the upper hand, literally.
Pistol getting utilized a single shot right here. It's not called a mammoth pistol for no reason, folks.
Yeah, the pistols are very overlooked in Fortnite, and you know what? For the most part, the pistols are solid.
Ooh, sliding on the knees and barely getting inside there. That short kid putting on a clinic right there. It's going to be a little bit more healing over time. I'm going to shake this up and get it going as well. Carson, short kid, both with a little bit of shields off here. And I do like the stick-to-itiveness, right? Obviously, numerically eliminated from first place position, blah, 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 doesn't matter. They're still playing this out.
Well, and you need to, because they're playing for points. They're playing for the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the grand finale. I mean, like we said earlier, the first 2 move on. So Tippecanoe will be done for this Fortnite year, but you know what? They've got work to do, and they're going to come back really strong as we see how strong you need to be to get it done. Look at this.
Fantastic stuff. Just slicing and dicing, putting on a clinic as far as to how to take a 2v1. That's a lot harder and a lot of damage on the other side. That short kid on an absolute hunt as they try and get out, and that's not going to happen. FCHS redeems themselves perhaps a little bit here, Logan, in round number 10.
And you know what? They needed that while moving on, because kind of like in golf, you can say, hey, you remember that shot on the 9th that I hit? You only need that one good shot to come back. Well, Norwell is going to finish it off with 6 wins, and Franklin will end up with 4. Tippecanoe, unfortunately, will have the goose egg, if you will, right now. And if I'm looking at the points, it does look like there's no way that Norwell can't lose this. Norwell's got it in the bag. Norwell with a victory in Fortnite.
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. 6-4 victory here for Norwell. They'll be moving on along. Second place, Franklin County High School with 4-round wins. They'll be moving on with second place. A hat tip going on over to Tippecanoe on a solid effort put forward. Unfortunately, They were unable to find any round wins right here, and we're not in contention in the second half of this to move on along to the semifinals. Quarterfinals now down. Big hat tip to Tippecanoe and all of their players and coaching staff that came on out right here. What I want to give is another little hat tip here, and that is to LOS Portal, or League OS Portal. Do you want to play games or esports in college? Logan, I think we're a little bit old for that one. Now there's a way to search through hundreds of collegiate esports programs to see where they are, what games they play, and even what majors they offer, folks. Just go on over to portal.leagueos.gg to search, and IEN students can also sign in to manage their own prospect profiles, where all of their stats are updated automatically match over match, just like this one, right? There are scholarships out there for players as well as shoutcasters. Hey! Social media managers, and more, so make sure to add all of that data to your various prospect profile, right? Verified collegiate esports coaches are searching LOS Portal right now for promising prospects and reaching out to the ones that they do like. And of course, guys, LOS Portal is free for all students. Don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level. Logan's been an absolute blast covering a little bit of postseason IEN Fortnite Zone Wars here, sir. It's been real fun, and a big hat tip to Norwell and FCHS for moving on along. Do you have anything else for the good people before we do bid them adieu and tell us to catch us again tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard for Rocket League?
Yes, Rocket League. Are you joining me for Rocket League tomorrow?
I do believe I am, sir.
Yeah. Yo, bring it back, roll it back. This is going to be good. Yo, what a great week. And I'm actually sticking around for a little bit of Valorant in another league, but we're going to be right here. Look, so much great stuff happens right here on LandFest. The Indiana Esports Network, along with other networks as well. Get involved, be part of the Discord. That's the way that you can stay on the pulse of the LandFest community. And I can't wait to be back here tomorrow, some Rocket League with you, Tugboat. I appreciate you. Look, be good, and if you can't be good, be quick.
Absolutely. I like that. Appreciate you watching, folks. We'll catch you on the flip side.